Hello, Hurricane. I dare you to move to a different podcast if you feel like we're adding to the noise. But let me tell you, we were meant to live the American dream and learning a new way to be human and to breathe. Will our lists be beautiful letdowns or will there be redemption? We are one tonight and hope you will join us in playing for keeps.
Wow.
24.
Bravo.
I'm just going to clap.
This is, of course, Church Jams Now, the podcast for three former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. I, of course, am your co-host, Kylan Savage. With me, as always, is Mr. TJ Smith.
Did you forget who you were for a second? Because your Switchfoot bit was so good.
Yeah, it was that good. I wrote it down and everything.
I love it.
Thank you. I feel like y'all would appreciate that. I tried to fit as much as I could. In
You were
Terra
right.
Bang. I'm gonna lose it. It's
I don't know how you worked that in.
I peaked right at the beginning, and it's all downhill from here.
And that's okay. We're here for you, buddy.
Yeah, we also have beautiful producer Josh.
Hey, and my only hope is that I can be as good as at podcasting as you are, Kylan, and your puns.
Thank you. Me and Reggie, thank you.
Wait, who's Reggie?
Reggie, you got to join the Patreon to find out who Reggie is.
TJ's not a part of it, so he doesn't know.
I'm on the outs, y'all.
TJ's not on the Patreon. So, all right, guys, we've got 2 Bop 10s under our belts. I feel like we're old pros at this now, right?
Yeah, veterans.
Something like that. I mean, I feel like the fact that TJ threw a wrench in it on our second one, I feel like now it's like I'm a little leery walking into this being like,
I know.
Who's got something planned?
I know. Well,
Yeah,
I decided to do the Switchfoot reference monologue in lieu of my original idea, in which my top 10 Switchfoot songs were all solo John Foreman songs. Which was
I was
my
wondering if
original
there'd
plan.
be some hijinks.
That was
in
my
that
original
regard.
plan, but I decided to keep it classic.
Good for you.
Way to go.
Thank you.
That's a great bit, I might add.
We commend you.
A great intro.
Thanks. Yeah, so for those of y'all that haven't listened to a Bop 10 episode before, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go through our top 10, Bop 10, if you will. Oh, I had something too. Bopping is a yuppie word. I forgot about that. Well, I'll fix it in post.
Perfect.
Like we always do.
Yeah,
I
we
really
always fix
believe
it in
you.
post. We always fix it in post.
Every time.
Yeah, go through our top Switchfoot songs, and what we'll do is we'll go around. Each of us will do our 10 through 4, and then we'll each give our 3, 2, and 1, and kind of give those a little bit more time for discussion. In the meantime, Josh is going to use his little computer wizardry, his pivot tables,
Pivot those tables, baby.
to calculate the empirical objective Church Jams Now
Master
Switchfoot
list.
Bop 10.
The numbers will be crunched. That's
There
all
we
I
go.
can say.
I love it.
Ow. Careful
And
with those numbers.
Of
Yeah.
course, as always, listeners, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your top Switchfoot songs. Because Josh, also, after we post the episode, if you comment on social media with your list, he'll add it, and we'll start to get a more comprehensive list
Yep,
of the
it's true.
best.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
like that.
if you rank them, I will give them the proper point value. There are a lot of people that will just give us a list, which is fine. But if you do just give us a list that's unranked, every song only gets 1 point apiece. So,
That's
That
good to
feels
know.
like
I
a
didn't know
TJ
that.
approach.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yep. Yeah.
I like that a lot, weirdly. But probably don't do that. Don't be like me, y'all. I'm a bad example.
Yeah. So, should we just get right into it? I love this. I love the Bop 10s. They're so snappy.
I know. They're easy. Just
Yeah,
jump
they're
right in.
super easy.
Yeah.
Okay, but the question is, of course, what order are we going to do this in? Because we did one, right, where I was first,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did one. Josh, were you first on the last one?
I was.
Yeah, and you went mad with power, and you kept cutting us off, and you lost your mind.
I
And
did.
you were just like blasting through. You didn't care about our opinions at all. So I think it's
Yep.
time for TJ to go first.
Yeah. The only order we haven't done yet is TJ, me, Kylan.
Hmm.
TJ sounds
Okay.
real stoked.
Yeah, it's just daunting, I guess.
It is
That's
rough
all it
going
is.
first. I realized
Yeah.
that last time.
I make it look easy, y'all.
You do. You really do.
Yeah.
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
I'll get us going.
Well, before you start, TJ, I do just want to throw out, like we've mentioned before on some other top 10s that we've done, some Bop 10s and just some fun ones on Patreon. But I'm always
Right.
curious to see how many of like the big songs are going to show up on any,
Oh yeah.
if any, of our lists, on how many, if any, such as Meant to Live, Dare to Move, Learning to Breathe. I saw Only Hope has some really big streams, which, I mean, that makes sense, but I'd be surprised if any of y'all put it on your list. But hey, I'm not judging, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
We'll see. I'm excited to find out.
Yep. It will be interesting to see. One you didn't mention that you wouldn't, because I don't think of as a terribly iconic Switchfoot song, but one that I like enough to put as my number 10 is The Sound, John M. Perkins Blues, Hello Hurricane.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hello
it snuck
Hurricane
in
coming in.
there for the number 10 spot because it's just riffy and huge, and I like what it's doing. I don't know. It was one of those, Hello Hurricane was a record I spent a little bit of time with, not a ton, but enough to have a song or two that I, at this point in my life, remember, basically.
Yeah.
Because they have such a massive discography, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a lot. But that's one of those that album I know relatively well, not super well, but the sound was one that always kind of stuck out. So yeah,
I love that.
It's a good
it's
one.
just big and fun. So yeah, that's my number 10.
What's your number 9?
You get to keep going, man.
Yeah.
I know, I was taking a drink for dramatic effect. I don't want to blast through this too quickly. I don't want to
Yeah,
blow
yeah.
you all away with any
Take your time, take your time.
ammunition,
Ooh.
which is my number 9 choice.
Okay.
All right.
I like how the song has layers to it. The way it starts with that weird drum groove that almost feels like pseudo jazzy kind of thing, and it's like swung, and you don't see the up tempo like fast guitar coming at all. Like if you've never
Right.
heard that song before and you heard that intro with the weird kind of soupy drum fill and then the bass coming in,
Right.
would you ever predict that it was gonna get to, this like up tempo straight ahead rocker? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And
Good
I like
intro.
that. I
It's a
like
good
when it
intro.
kind of sort of it subverts your expectations in a good way. And yeah, the bass that's grooving inside that rhythmic feel for a minute is really cool. But then yeah, the guitars just kick in and take it in a whole new direction. I also like that the bridge, I don't know if we talked about this when we covered this record, but the bridge makes use of the hook without it getting too tired,
Oh.
which I think is a really cool aspect for that song. That kind of like turnaround that the guitar does, it happens at the end of the bridge sections, just like it happens throughout the song. But to me, it never gets too overused. It never feels too
Right.
tired,
Mhm.
which is cool.
Nice.
So,
TJ, may
yeah.
I ask a question before
Yeah,
we
please.
move on?
Please.
And I should have asked this at the top, but so we've done Emery and Amberlin so far. Is this perhaps the one that you have the best breadth of catalog
Oh, that's a
compared
good
to
question. I
the
was
other
thinking about
two?
That is a great question.
Like, are
I
you
don't-
coming in a little bit more of like, I know a couple more albums than Emery and Amberlin?
I feel like it's probably similar if you were to try to boil it down to percentages. If you took all of Emery's work and all of Switchfoot's work and then were trying to represent in a percentage how much of each of those I know based on their whole discography, I would say it's pretty similar.
Right.
But I do think because Switchfoot has so much going on, even in one record, it gave me a lot to choose from. It gave me a
Right.
lot to work with.
Okay, good.
So
But
my-
it might be,
Yeah.
it might be Emery like just barely by like 5 or 10%.
I feel my prediction. I love that we're doing this all now in the middle of
I know.
TJ's list instead of the
Yeah, it's
beginning of
great.
the show.
It's great.
TJ, your list is real interesting, but I have some things I want to talk about.
Yep.
I feel like
I'm here for it.
if you use like the Beautiful Letdown was kind of the Beautiful Letdown and Nothing Is Sound are the two that we've covered on the show.
Right.
I feel like my prediction is our lists are going to be TG's going to be pretty close to around those two
Mm.
in terms of like the majority of your list. I
Right.
feel like mine's going to skew a little bit earlier and Josh's is going to skew a little bit later.
Interesting. Okay.
That's good.
Because I feel
is-
like
I need to make notes. This is all stuff we should discuss at the top of the next Bob 10 because it is interesting. I like making predictions
Yeah.
20 minutes before we find out what they are true or
I also
not.
like the idea that Kylan has to predict what his list is going to be. He doesn't know. He's
Well,
predicting all
yeah.
three of ours
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
in
true.
real time.
That's how I do,
Do you
man.
like go out of your own head to?
Who knows
you
if I even made a list, guys?
No one does.
You
No
don't
one
know.
knows
I'm
yet.
We
so
don't know
good
right now.
at extemporaneous speaking. You have no idea if I've actually written notes or not.
And that's what makes this podcast so fun.
That's the
It's the
beauty of
beauty.
this podcast. All right, TJ,
Right.
what's next? What's your number 8?
So number 8, which throws an interesting dynamic into your theory for my list, Kylan, is Where the Light Shines Through.
Oh, a
The title
late
track.
one.
Yes.
Okay,
I was not expecting this from
that
you,
was
TJ.
not at all.
Mhm. I like the song. It also just helps that I really enjoy the song as a thesis statement for an album. And so that makes it a heavy hitter for me in the entire discography that Switchfoot has out that I'm familiar with. That's one that record I think I listened to maybe twice ever. But going back over, and I am mostly pulling from, for this list, for the record, I'm mostly pulling from albums and songs that I was previously familiar with. I didn't like investigate any work that would have been new to me.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit about that in previous episodes, but
Right.
so this is a record I did listen to, not a lot, but this song, the premise of it just really hits in the right way. And I think, talked about this maybe on Nothing Is Sound, but how John really has like certain ideas or concepts or imagery that he goes back to. He pulls from this well, draws from
Right.
this well like a lot. And so the light thing is like kind of light, shadow, dark and
Right.
light, that kind of stuff. And I think it's, when you're really engaging with a person's work in a concentrated dose like we do on this show, and especially for this episode,
Mhm.
for the Bob 10, it becomes apparent what those things are that the artist kind of goes to
Right.
and draws from. And that I'm trying not to let that weaken the overall impact of each individual song.
That makes sense.
So I'm trying to kind of do a little bit of work, like some mental gymnastics, to be like, okay, yes, it's the same imagery, but it's still strong, because you'll see that I also resonate with a lot of those other songs, the same imagery again and again.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to make that distinction and be like, okay, just because they draw from the same well doesn't mean it's any less effective the next time. And everybody's got a different opinion on that. That's where I'm landing right now. But that idea of like light and shadow, and obviously the kintsugi association that probably all three of us would go to if we thought about it enough, and the Leonard Cohen of it all,
Right.
like cracks where the light gets through. That is a big part of why the song gets on the list, is
Makes
like
sense.
those concepts really work. And I just think the song is great. I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's got that kind of powerful stadium rock feeling, and I think that's where Switchfoot shines, to use a light analogy.
There you go.
Quite
like that.
often is when they lean into that stadium
Right.
rock sound. So
That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah.
You're so
number
thoughtful.
what's that?
You're so thoughtful.
Oh, thanks, man. Number 7, the flex
The
spot.
flex
Flex
spot.
spot.
Oh yeah.
And I like that this one lands on the flex spot, because it's also from Where the Light Shines Through. Float.
Ooh, a
Oh,
nice
wow.
7/4 jam.
Yes, it's so weird. It's one that I didn't know super well, but upon listening back, it just stuck out to me in a new way that felt fresh, that felt different, that felt, like not any sort of formulaic Switchfoot, but felt a little edgier, a little weirder, and stuck out in the overall discography in a way that made it kind of land. The production on it's just also really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That reversey intro is really kind of got like a Beatles kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that bass line.
It's real funky.
It's sweet.
Some sweet, sweet bass.
It's just real like sleek and swanky. I don't know. It almost feels like if Bruno Mars co-wrote the song or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they're drawing from that a little bit.
Uh-huh. Little like disco, hip hop, pop kind of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Wow. You surprised me
That's-
with these two 2016 polls, I think. Was that when that
Mhm.
album came out?
Same.
so.
Yeah, my my predictions were just like literally immediately blown out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey
It was
man.
literally the next song.
I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
stopped
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Just
No, it's just
That's good.
yeah.
I'm just trying to be that hipster that like subverts all expectations and keeps things weird. I I don't know how you'll feel about this next one, but my number 6 selection is "Love Alone Is Worth the Fight" from
Ooh.
Fading West.
Another late
2013.
poll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My
Another
predictions
late
are
pull.
later.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know you were
And-
such a big later stage Switchfoot guy.
Well, that's the thing is I'm not huge, but I kept in the loop a little bit from album to album. There were some that missed me that I kind of didn't hook into, didn't resonate with as much. But the thing is, I feel like they've been prolific enough that if I miss one album, the next time they're cranking a new one out and they're on a new album cycle,
Right.
I'll dip back in and be like, okay, let's check out what they're doing now.
Yeah.
So even if,
That makes
I
sense.
miss like, oh, Gravity is a great example. I didn't really listen to that album a lot, but I did listen to Hello Hurricane a little bit. Vice versa, didn't listen to that one a lot. Fading West, I did listen to a good
You're an
bit.
every other kind of guy.
It's yeah, kind of.
That's so chaotic.
It is. It is, and I can't explain it because
It's
it wasn't like a
so
pattern
Kylan
that
energy.
it kind of is. I'm realizing that now because it wasn't conscious at all. Like it wasn't something I did on purpose. It was just kind of like, oh, Switchfoot would kind of come into orbit at almost every other in a way that felt fresh and new and interesting. So I would check it out.
That's
So
cool.
Fading West is one of those that it came out when I was living in Paris, and I have a distinct memory of like walking down the street in the spring or summer, and like the weather was just like perfect. You could like smell the flowers and blue skies, and the hook, the thing that like is the hook on Love Alone Is Worth the Fight. Like I have a distinct visceral memory of that song attached to that like walk down the sidewalk in Paris. And I can't tell you where I was or anything about it other than how it felt. And I like the scope of the song. It's very massive. It's very optimistic. It's
Right.
catchy. Those nonverbal woes are real hooky. But yeah, I don't know. It's also, I mean, that whole album is like a surf album. You can just tell.
Right.
It's like just West Coast on West Coast on West Coast vibes, which, that's a lot of what they refer back to, I think,
Mhm.
sonically and lyrically. But that one especially, for whatever reason, works for me on that level.
I love
So that's number 6. Number 5, throwing a little bit for a loop your theory in another way, Kylan. New Way to Be Human
it. Okay.
is my number
Now we're
5.
going early. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
going back. That's probably the earliest entry on my list. I'll just go ahead and
Okay.
let you know. So your theory's not too far off
Right.
as we get into the higher numbers or higher selections.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
fun thing is my list is squarely in the middle.
Nice. That's awesome.
Had to balance it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one, Switchfoot was a band that until Beautiful Letdown was like all I listened to, I was kind of like aware of some of their earlier songs, like New Way to Be Human, Company Car, Learning to Breathe, Dare You to Move. Um, those bigger songs on those earlier records, I was aware of those songs. I didn't really dig into those records in full.
I'm excited
But-
to dig into those records on the show.
Me too. Yeah, I am as well. But that one is one that even in context of their whole like discography, I think of as really strong, really ahead of its time in a lot of ways,
Mhm.
and set them on a course that, has helped them create an iconic sound.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, like that's kind of how I feel about that track. So, yeah, New Way to Be Human.
Love it.
What was that? Five?
5.
That was
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Okay, so now we get into an interesting moment where y'all are either gonna love it or it's gonna just like send the show into utter chaos.
Well, if the
I
show goes into utter chaos, I'm gonna love it.
Okay, great.
You guys
Sweet.
know, I'm
So it's a
always trying
win-win.
to-
Kylan was heading there anyway.
I'm trying.
So-
I'm like, I'm not intentionally.
You're just getting us there faster.
Yeah, I'm never
great.
intentionally, but I am actively trying to destroy the show in every episode.
Well, I'm happy to be the expediation element in sending us into the chaotic stratosphere. I need y'all to help me pick my number 4. It is
2024,
either
fucking with the
Yes.
format.
what the format is, right? It is either Stars or Shadow Proves the Sunshine on Nothing Is Sound. One makes the cut, the other one goes to the runners-up bin.
Stars.
I was
Why?
trying to remember which one you liked more on that episode.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I can't.
I
'cause
do
like
remember
them
your
both.
favorite song from that episode, but it's not either one of those. So,
I know. I went back to that album and those were the ones that hit.
Yeah.
What was my favorite from that album, Josh?
What's the second to last song? The Lonely
Lonely
Nation.
We Are One
Tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That one was, it almost made the cut, but it didn't quite hit me in the right way.
All right.
So-
all right.
Yeah, I'm a cinnamon roll. What can I say?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
do you like? I mean,
my
are you
vote's
feeling
Stars.
rocking right now, or are you feeling more
Rolling.
chill? 'Cause- Yeah, are you rocking or are you rolling?
you
Rocking
rolling
is
or you
stars,
rock-
rolling is sun. Shadow proves the sunshine.
That's funny. I feel like, so again, like I said, where the light shines through, right? That shadow and light thing, and this again, the shadow proves the sunshine.
These are both star based light based as
Yeah,
well.
I
So,
know. They do feel like two sides of the same coin because yeah, one is like real upbeat, the other's very mellow and contemplative. I feel like just to round my list out, I should have one that's a little more mellow, like energy wise.
Yeah, you've had some big rockers here. Sound Ammunition, Where the Light Shines Through.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I should go with Shadow Proves the Sunshine, even
Cool.
though Stars
So-
is great.
So we didn't need to be here for this conversation because
You
you just
did.
completely disregarded my opinion. That's fine.
Well,
You helped him.
No,
You
I
helped
didn't.
him
You helped
arrive
me.
at that conclusion.
Well, I didn't help myself in the
well, that's why
long
you have
run.
your own list.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
There's
Are we
some
hinting
there's
at
some
something?
political horse trading going on right here.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, guess what, Kylan? I got good news for you, buddy. You got 2 more opportunities to help sway me.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Wow.
Sounds like so
That's
much work.
right.
Sounds like so much work.
Oh,
No, it's gonna
man.
be fun.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
All right.
But let's move
So,
on to
Shadow Proves the Sunshine is your number 4.
yes.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
stick
love
with
it.
that.
Locked in. Locked into the
Also-
pivot table.
That's right. Lock it in.
Okay. Also, after this episode, let's no longer do the TJ goes first because he's entirely too thoughtful and articulate.
Sorry.
So then my list is just gonna be like, I don't know, it's a cool song.
This one's cool.
Yeah.
What are you talking
'Cause
about? I love that.
I'm
I
not
love
as-
when you do that.
I know. So I should do it first. Basically, what we're learning is don't fuck with the format too much, guys. Like, let me go.
Well, you
first.
can, but only in certain ways.
Yeah. Because I don't want to follow that.
That's true.
But I
Sorry,
don't
buddy.
have
Well, you
to.
don't-
Josh does.
You don't have to. I do.
All right, Josh. What's
You
your
got
10
this,
through
Josh.
4?
I'll be the bridge between here. Okay.
Can I ask a question actually before you start?
Please.
Do we think
It's only fair.
collectively, do we think Josh has the broadest and deepest awareness of Switchfoot?
Well, yes. He has that with every band that we cover.
I know. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page about
Yeah,
that
for sure.
before he gives us his
For
list,
sure.
because that's
For
gonna
sure.
one up me. Like you think I'm the one that's like
Uh.
setting the standard here, Kylan, but actually I think it's
I know.
BPJ on this
I
episode.
think, yeah, BPJ is like I think the only reason people still listen to our podcast
Fully.
because we
I have
fully
no
embarrass ourselves with our lack of knowledge.
That's
And
right.
Josh is always our saving grace.
All praise BPJ.
Doing what I can, what I can. Well, I
All hail.
appreciate the compliment, TJ, but I have to admit, my Bop 10 list does not span as much as their catalog as yours does.
Okay.
Interesting.
You're beating me out on the
You're
earlier
honing in.
and the later on
Okay.
both fronts.
Yours is
Fascinating.
I'm middling as
all-
well.
All songs
With
from the
Kylan.
beautiful letdown our version.
Yeah, for sure. All 2023.
I wondered
baby.
if that was on the table or not. It felt very
None of those songs are
inappropriate.
anyone's favorites.
Ooh,
I love
ouch.
Noah Gunderson's take. I think it's great.
Yeah, but it didn't make your list, did it?
No, but that's because
Yeah.
it didn't feel like it
Shadow
was
proves the
fair,
sunshine, my man.
fair game. Shadow proves
Hey,
the sunshine.
It's my
Those
turn to talk, guys.
All right.
my
Noah
turn to
is
talk.
my shadow. I love him as my shadow.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. All right. Well, I'm going to start off with my number 10. Actually, what if I just my format was I just started with 1 and just went through 1 through
That'd be
7.
awesome.
That'd be fun.
No, I'm not going to do that. Maybe another episode. All right. My number 10 that I'm going to start off with is Hello Hurricane.
Okay.
Title track from Hello Hurricane.
Nice.
You've heard of it? Yeah, cool. This was a fun time. I've mentioned before how I was kind of like a Switchfoot hipster when
Right.
I was with Beautiful Letdown, where I was like, I don't want to listen to Switchfoot.
Yeah,
Everyone
You
does.
were too cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. I was trying to be too cool.
Good
Hello
for you.
Hurricane came out my first semester of college whenever I met Kylan, and it took debut by storm, of course. Everyone
Did
was
it?
listening to Hello Hurricane. I remember
didn't know
everyone
that.
was listening to it everywhere.
I wasn't.
because all the debut kids listen to Switchfoot.
I
so.
don't know a single song from that record. I didn't know that was
Gosh.
that was the thing. I was listening to Corona, Rhythm of the Night. I was
Yes, you
real
were.
into my DJ
Oh, you
EDM
were.
phase.
Yes, and our raves can prove it. So
There weren't enough drops
everyone was
in Hello
everyone
Hurricane.
was
for
playing
Kylan
Hello
at the time.
Hurricane. Well, I was talking about Hello Hurricane while playing Ninja because Ninja was real big around then
What's
too.
Ninja?
You know the game where you get in the circle and you move and you try to.
Josh, you were the only person I hung out with
my
in
gosh.
college.
Oh
I
my
didn't-
gosh!
I went to go smoke cigarettes behind the library by myself and listen to
What a
Elvis
cool
Costello in the basement
And then
of the
put
library
a DJ set together.
and work on DJ sets. I didn't get invited to stuff like this.
You just had to walk around. It was happening. But
I
don't-
played
whatever.
Ninja a
I don't-
couple times.
I don't remember
yeah,
this
no,
at all.
it was real big around
this is
that
funny.
time.
We had very different college experiences.
that lived in the same dorm.
Roommates.
Crazy. So this
Little
was
dichotomies.
yes, very much so. So Hello Hurricane is actually kind of the record that brought me into Switchfoot because before then I was like whatever, and then I heard Hello Hurricane a lot because it was going around, and I was like, actually this is pretty good. I kind of dig this stuff. So I just think it's a really fun song. It has a really long intro, which you could argue is a little long for being track 7 on the record, but I don't mind. And I love that John's positivity and optimism are strong enough to take on devastating natural weather events, that he welcomes the hurricane. And I bet he could take it on and change its mood and make the hurricane be like, you know what, John, after hanging out with you, yeah, I'm gonna be,
I'm good.
I'm gonna
I'm
chill
just gonna
out.
be.
It's
I'm just gonna be
yeah.
a
what you're
tropical
saying
storm.
is it's like a Lieutenant Dan situation, except for he's just real happy about it. He's like, "Hey, I love you, Storm. Give me a big old hug."
Exactly. And then
That's
the
great.
storm's like, you know what? I'm
right.
having a much better day now. Thanks, John. I appreciate that.
I love that. That's
Sweet.
great.
Well, thanks.
Good
All
number
right,
10.
my number 9 is Where I Belong,
Mm.
the last song off of Vice Verses.
Yeah.
This song is a little bit more personal for me. This was one of the songs that I remember helping me through after my uncle died in 2013. And I specifically remembered listening to it driving to or away from his funeral. And it's about kind of in a world where I belong, like The Great Beyond, and passing on. So that, and then I think Taxi from Showbread were just ones that deal with kind of the afterlife and moving on were very helpful in that time. And then I saw them play in 2014, and John had this big white flag that he was waving around. It's a great album closer and
Nice.
jam out song. And I was looking today because I was like, Switchfoot, I love long songs, and Switchfoot doesn't have a ton of long songs. So I was looking through their catalog, and this song is 6 minutes and 52 seconds, which, from what I could find, seems to be their longest studio track.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is kind of cool that it's the one, like, I think it's one of the only 6 foot switch minute 6 foot songs.
6 foot 52 seconds.
Yep. That's a good one. It has a special place in my heart for that reason.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. Number 8, I'm going to do The Beautiful Letdown. Title track of The Beautiful Letdown. Just the whole album.
Okay.
No.
The whole
I
didn't know
album,
we could
just in
do
one.
that.
Yeah.
No fair.
Yep. Tim's bass is really grooving on this one. And I love whenever they kind of just go into like some jam out parts and John kind of gets to go on his like, I feel like hype rants where he's kind of just like riffing and just kind of doing his thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was listening back to my list and I should have swapped this with Where I Belong, because in The Beautiful Letdown he sings Feels Like I Don't Belong Here, and then it would have gone into Where I Belong.
Ooh.
But they're 9 and 8 right now. That would have been fun.
Yep. Next time.
Next time.
He does do that a lot though, where like he'll use an idea in a song that was a title or a major component of another song. And he sort of couches it like Redemption. There's a line in one of the songs that is either before or after Redemption, and then and then they have Redemption. It's it's like something
even like 8 years between, I think, which is cool to pick that up and be like, I'm gonna finish this idea now.
Yes. Yeah. Let's circle back to that.
Yeah. Very true.
That's cool.
All right, flex spot time.
Flex spot.
My flex spot is going to Always off of Hello Hurricane.
Okay.
And as a pretty good flex spot is I don't have very much specifics on like these are all the reasons why I like it, other than I just really like it, and it stood out to me, and it's one of my favorites. I don't come to Switchfoot often for like their big rock songs. I like the mid-tempo jams, and Always is a great example of that, I feel like.
For sure.
It's a good flex spot song.
It is. Another thing that I go to Switchfoot for is their sunny summer songs, and my number 6 is More Than Fine, which I feel like is a very great example of a sunny summer Switchfoot song.
For sure.
Yeah. And I was listening back to it today, and well, I feel like The Beautiful Letdown obviously has like so many big hits, but I really liked a lot of those in between songs, because like I heard all those hits on the radio, and then whenever I finally dug into that record, I'm like, oh, all these in between songs are really good too, and I maybe like these more because I haven't heard them 5 dozen times already.
Right.
So
for sure.
Totally.
Yeah. And then Tim's bass is really grooving. As we get into more Switchfoot on the show, like I've been realizing like he's a really fun bassist to listen to. And before it's just like John Foreman is such a great writer, all this stuff. But now I'm like, Tim is a pretty rockin' bassist.
Yeah. So I think they're the
been
full
fun to discover.
Band.
Yeah, they really are.
You're nailing it with that.
A talented family.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is my newest song on the list, and I thought I was like maybe it had a chance to be the newest song on all of our lists, but TJ has at least shut it down. So
sorry.
Yeah. TJ just messed up all my predictions.
He sure did.
Although I will say, Josh, you are skewing a little more of the later.
No, you're nailing me.
Yeah.
You got me.
I got you.
You did. You for sure did. So my number 5 is Say It Like You Mean It off of Fading West.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fun one too.
It is a fun one. And it's because it's so fun, because John is very well renowned for his lyrical prowess and thoughtfulness and how he writes. But this song is here for the vibes.
It is all vibe.
Is which like he has like the lyrics in this song are saying something. They're not just like throwaway, but this song is just about the mood, the vibes, and it's a big rockin' one. And I really like it's got great bass tone and riffs, and then I love how they like play with John's vocals of having that delay kind of like wash over, which fits with the surf documentary soundtrack that they did for that record. This is one of my favorites. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great choice.
Sweet. So this is my last one. Number 4 is going to be Enough to Let Me Go off of Hello Hurricane as well. And this is also a strictly vibe song. This is one that I feel like you could have a big personal connection to, of like really relating to like, "Do you love me enough to let me go?" But I'm like, I just really like the music of this song. I
just
don't
a good
have
vibe.
any.
Yeah.
There's no personal connection at all. I just really like it. Dynamically, I was thinking about it, and dynamically, this song stays pretty much the same the whole way through. It is kind of at the same level, and it's got like that kind of like palm muted like guitar part that are like eighth notes kind of thing. Like it's pretty steady, which would make it, I feel like, an easy candidate for things to get boring and to like kind of just well, this is kind of the same song the whole way through. But I feel like that really showcases and is a testament to their songwriting and musicianship, how they can be like, hey, we're just gonna have this straightforward kind of just like steady song that stays about the same dynamically, but we're going to do enough in there to make it interesting the whole way through, of adding little riffs or like having, I love like the space in between John's in the choruses, "Do you love enough to let me go?" and then like da 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 da, like adding like little peppery stuff in there. I feel like makes it interesting the whole time, even though it's kind of the same the whole way.
Cool.
Nice.
That's
a
my
good
list.
I wish I knew more
That's
of those
most
songs.
of my list, at least.
Yeah, there were some tracks on there that I wasn't as familiar with, and that makes me want to dig into them more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they make our finalists, you have to listen to them through legal obligation.
Yeah, that's the rule.
But
Got it.
if they don't make our official CJ Top 10, you don't have to listen to them, you know? That's how it works.
Okay, deal. All right, Kylan, can you
Then
follow
it
that?
brings us to Kylan.
I don't like going last.
I love Kylan's. I never know where Kylan's going to go with his list.
Yeah,
It's
you've
always
still got
fun.
the unpredictability
Yeah.
component of being the last
That's true.
of us.
All right. Well, my number 10, We Are One Tonight from Nothing Is Sound.
Ooh,
Nice.
We talked about that on our episode. It's like a big anthemic,
Yeah.
ostensibly kind of album closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the yeah, see, I got nothing to say about these really. Like I like the vibe.
It's cool.
It's cool. It's
a cool song.
That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. No, it is great. I mean, there's a reason it was like Between Stars, Shadowbird Sunshine, and that song. Those were like the big three for me on that album, and I was real close to picking it.
Yeah.
I like that it made your list, man. That's cool.
Yeah, man. That's my number 10. My number 9, I'm going back to Learning to Breathe with Love Is the Movement.
Oh, okay.
This is the longest song on my list. It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
I like it. It's just like, it's real groovy. I like a lot of the earlier Switchfoot stuff because it is very like 90s alt rock. Like very
it's
like
real weird in a
like,
good way.
Very Pixies, a little bit Radiohead. Like they're just a good song.
I don't even know it. I don't know much like pre Beautiful Let Down Switchfoot, so I'm unfamiliar with this one.
Well, you should listen to it. It's good. I doubt it'll make the final Bop 10, but I have my own Bop 10 list on Spotify you can listen to.
There you go.
Number 8, going back to Nothing Is Sound, I have Happy as a Yuppie Word.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's a good song. I like, it's so funny because we're all kind of talking about like what we go to Switchfoot for. And I think I like melancholic John Foreman. Like I like when he's a little cynical because it doesn't happen often.
No,
right?
It's
He's
true.
Throughout,
like happy and bright and cheerful and joyful.
Yeah,
like it
that's a
doesn't
good
happen
point.
throughout their whole discography, but
It's rare.
But there are those cracks that happen where the shadow shines through, right? Like I like as the resident sad boy, I like when he's gets real about kind of cynical stuff.
Yeah, and like allowing himself and the listener to sit in the shadow place as opposed to just focusing on the light.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Okay, my flex spot, my number 7, my flex spot. This is definitely a flex spot pick, but I picked Paparazzi, also from Learning to Breathe.
Okay.
Because that's like, it's a fun... So I like a lot of the Switchfoot songs where John Foreman is like singing pretty fast and making a lot of references.
Yep.
And so there were a lot of songs that could kind of go in that spot. Paparazzi just seemed... It's I don't know. It's pretty fun. It's got that intro where they're just kind of like talking in the studio. It's kind of noisy, kind of messy, but he makes lots of references like Marilyn Monroe, MTV, Velvet Elvis, Nirvana, 90210. So I like trying to, figure out all those references and stuff.
Yeah,
that
that makes
appeals
so
to
much
your
sense.
pop culture brain.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my favorite of like those type of Switchfoot songs.
Mhm.
The Gons of
Yeah,
catalog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
okay, then my number 6 going to the beautiful letdown, adding to the noise.
Nice.
Ooh, he teased it earlier and it
Adding
made the
to
list.
noise. I like it.
That's
It's just
great.
like it's a real poppy jam.
Yes, it is.
And I like I don't remember anything from any of our episodes, so I don't remember if we talked about it
That one was a while ago.
on
though.
that
To be
Switchfoot
fair,
episode. Yeah, I like the dichotomy of talking about how we're adding to the noise, turn off the song with the like super pop production.
probably
like
the noisiest song
Yeah,
on that record,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Like as far as just yeah, like I feel like it's very bright, like you're saying, like the poppy approach
Yeah.
to the production on it, like the EQs are lots of,
yeah. I think that's
you know,
fun.
2K, 4K, 10K,
Right.
just noisy and bright
Yeah,
and
exactly,
loud.
exactly. I think that's really
Yeah.
fun. All right, my number
That's cool.
5 from New Way to Be Human is Company Car.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
you're
That's a
pulling
good
some
song.
old stuff here.
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
As you predicted.
I'll
You're
go ahead and
almost
As I
say
predicted.
Company Cars on my runners up list.
Ooh, it's good. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Josh, do you know that song?
I think I've listened to it a few times, but I can't recall it right now.
It's good. It's got that real kind of like L.A., Southern California pop rock kind of thing.
Nice.
Real like tight sound.
Mhm.
Like tight, almost tinny guitars, tight snare. It's fun. It's a good song.
Nice.
Then what? Oh, my number 4.
Number 4.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
Meant to Live.
Whoa.
There it is. The first time it has
Okay.
Meant to Live has
yeah.
entered the chat.
Yeah, I'm so curious as
Nice.
to where if that lands on y'all's lists at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 seemed like a good spot for it. I mean, that guitar riff, like,
Yeah.
made me want to learn electric guitar.
Yeah, this is one of
Yeah.
those ones I feel like if we don't have Meant to Live like on ours, people are going to be like, you got to have Meant to Live up there. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like-
no,
I mean, this is
feel
probably
like
one of
we'd
the
get
most
our-
important
Right.
Switchfoot songs for
Yeah.
sure.
We
but
could get our Switchfoot
our list
card
isn't-
revoked.
Yeah,
For sure. So I had to make a showing.
yeah. Thank you for
Nice.
doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, good
the
job.
only one so far.
Yeah.
We'll see if TJ and I hold up our end of the bargain.
We'll see. shall
Okay, so we went through our 10 through 4, so we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to go through our 3 through 1s and then calculate the final objective, CJN Switchfoot Bop 10.
For all of eternity.
Hey Jammers, Kylan here with our beautiful producer Josh. We're going to interrupt the show really quick to talk about, once again, our favorite sponsor of all time, CollideRecords.com. So this week, we're talking about Nothing is Sound by Switchfoot. It's our second Switchfoot episode. And so I decided, it might be kind of fun to just, maybe see what Switchfoot they had available on CollideRecords.com. And boy, let me tell you, they got it all.
Did your browser, was it able to load everything that they have in stock?
I think so. It is lots and lots and lots. It is all of your Switchfoot needs.
It's Switchfoot, it's John Foreman, it's Fiction Family,
It's Fiction Family, yes.
new Switchfoot, it's old Switchfoot. There's everything that you could CDs, LPs, even DVDs. They got DVDs on there.
That's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, spanning their entire catalog. It's great. If you're a Switchfoot fan, which I think statistically a lot of people, especially listeners of our show, are, then, I
Right.
mean, get to Collide Records and start browsing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could spend all day just looking at this. Anything Switchfoot or Switchfoot adjacent, you can totally pick up. And Josh, can you tell people if they want such a good deal on all of their Switchfoot needs, can you tell them how they could maybe obtain that at Collide?
I've got a little special something for you guys. If you go to colliderecords.com and use the promo code ChurchJamsNow, all one word, at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first order. So if you've been holding out on getting the new re-recorded Beautiful Letdown Switchfoot's R version on LP, let me tell you, you can go there. It's on sale right now, and you can get 20% off. They have a swimming pool clear variant. There's a gold metallic
Love
one
the
too,
swimming
but
pool
the
clear.
swimming pool looks, I mean, it's perfect for that record, right? Like, that just makes sense.
It's so good.
So
It's
I
so
think
good.
that's something that y'all should do.
100%. Once again, at checkout, type in Church Jams now for 20% off your first purchase. I think that's going to be it for us. Let's get right back to it.
Hey, Jammers. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And I got to tell you, it seems like, so in our Starflyer 59 episode, we talked about how we needed, was it 59 stars or 59? I don't remember now.
59 total ratings.
We need 59 total ratings, and we're really close. And we've gotten even closer since then. You know, it takes no time to rate and review the show, and we so greatly appreciate it. And we're starting to implement this new thing where, you know, if you give us a good review, I think we're going to shout you out. Right, guys?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got one at the ready to read if y'all want to hear it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah, so this one is a 5-star review.
Ooh.
Titled
5 stars.
So Much Nostalgia from Manda T. The review goes, loving the relatable nostalgia for 2000s Christian music. The format of each episode is focused, well-researched, and often hilarious.
That's all Josh. This has to be a friend of Josh's.
It's awesome getting to learn history about the bands while also getting deep breakdowns of their songs. Solid entertainment! !
Wow.
A
Thank
wonderful,
you.
glowing review.
Thank you so much,
that
Amanda
really is
T.
Thank you,
Very
Amanda
cool.
T.
Very, very intentional.
Now, other listeners that have not left a review, if you do that, we could read it and tell you you're doing a good job too.
Yeah. And don't we all need a little positive reinforcement in
We
this
do.
life?
I mean, we definitely do. That's literally
you
the point
give
of
it
this
to us,
ad.
and then we give it back to
We
you.
give it right
Yeah,
back. That's
yeah.
right. It's a synergistic
Yeah.
cycle, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Just
Keep
rate
it
your
up.
review. Just let us know what
Yeah.
you think. We
Easy.
so greatly appreciate it.
Let's get back to the show.
All right, gentlemen, we're in the top threes now.
Top threes now.
So now
Comes down to this.
The big
comes
hitters,
down
if you
to
will.
this. So now we're each gonna go through. We're each gonna give our 3, then we're each gonna give our 2, and each gonna give our 1. So same. Let's keep it going. TJ, what is your number 3?
Okay.
Best
So like I
Switchfoot
said,
For 8 points on
I'm
the
gonna-
board.
song? Ooh.
8 points. All right. Well, then that really gives some weight to this whole process
It
because
certainly does.
I need y'all to help me choose my number 3.
No,
Are
I
we
tried this
picking your
last time.
3 and 2, and you have your number 1 already?
Correct.
Okay, good, good. I did want to pick your
No, I
number
would
1.
not do that with
Too
my
much
number 1
pressure.
slot.
Yeah,
No, I would.
okay.
Yeah, I would not do that. So is number 3. We mentioned and or alluded to both of these. Is it Gone, or is it Adding to the Noise? Because
Ooh.
they're both kind of big, happy,
Right.
bright pop rock, fun songs. They both have a gosh dang message,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
they can both also be total vibe songs.
be really fun. Yeah.
And they're both on the same album that we covered and we all know that we all love.
yeah.
So it's so hard.
I
But
get
one
that.
of them needs to be my number 3.
So what happens? Whatever one we pick for number 3 is the other one your number 2?
No,
Or is
it
it
goes
just
to
off-
the runners
doesn't
up.
make it.
Off.
Just doesn't make
Goes
it
to the
list.
bin.
All right. Well, my vote's Gone.
Ooh. I expected
Really?
you
Even though
to,
you didn't.
I know. I
so you
expected him to
had-
try to get more points for Adding to the Noise. But
Yeah.
I know. But Gone talks about Al Pacino.
yeah. It's
That
got
is
a Bono
true.
reference in it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like
There's not
Gone
enough-
does
there's
need
not
some
enough-
representation on
Yeah,
here.
I think it does.
Hmm.
So I
Even
could-
though
could do
I
that.
basically wrote Adding to the Noise Part 2, like we talked about on our episode.
I think so.
Interesting.
Remember how I talked about that?
I do.
I know you don't remember anything from our episodes, Kylan, and that's okay. But do you remember that, buddy? Do you remember that?
I do.
though?
I said I did. I remember.
Because it's important to me, so I want you to remember it. No, I really do love Adding to the Noise, but I really do love Gone. It's hard.
This is also good. We like to do this thing, my wife and I, where we'll have like the hands. If she's like, okay, what do you want for dinner? And we pick one thing in each hand. And it's helpful because then like if she picks something and then she's like, I wanted the other one, like, well, now you know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So if we both pick Gone and then you're like, I don't know, and then you pick Adding to the Noise, it still gets us to the same place where you choose your song.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess I just needed the external processing to realize that I want to be the contrarian, and I'm gonna go with Adding to the Noise.
Oh, it's 2 for 2.
You
He's
put it
shutting
on
you
your
down,
list, Kylan.
He's shutting you down.
I know. All right. Well,
All right. Adding to the Noise is your number
Alright,
3.
He is Added
Gone
to the
is
Noise.
gone.
Fittingly
Josh,
so.
what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Happy is a Yuppie Word.
Nice.
All right.
Yep.
That's cool.
Like all the same things that Kylan mentioned. I also do like Kylan, like you were saying, with John kind of dipping into some cynicism as well. And I do like this song, how it is in that realm. And then like when the chorus kicks in, like it's kind of major and pretty happy sounding, but there's still like that tension in there. And I think it's like the guitars. And I feel like Drew added a ton when he joined the band for this record. All the guitar work, I feel like just like went to
things up a
even
notch.
greater heights when he joined, especially on this record. So
Cool.
that is why it's one of my favorites, and it's also an inferred title track. And then John gets a little yelly in this one, which I always enjoy whenever he kind of pushes his register a little bit. You know,
For sure.
Nice,
that-
man.
that's my number 3.
I love it.
All right. Kai Dog. Numero Trace.
Guys.
What you got?
My number 3 is Gone.
I knew it. You didn't want to give it away, but you were so invested.
No. I wanted us to be song buddies. I like when we match up on certain numbers. I was so excited.
I know. Sorry, man. Gone is so good. That's why it almost got my number 3 slot.
But now it's just off the list.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's high stakes, man. The Bop 10 is high stakes.
I hate it.
All
I
or
hate
nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I like Gone for all the things we talked about. It says Al Pacino, Bono,
That's the main reason.
whatever. It doesn't matter. It's my
It
third
It
favorite.
does matter.
It's my third favorite. Whatever. No, it doesn't, because you so flippantly
mad about
just
it.
erased it from your
You,
list.
hey,
Like,
you don't know,
you
man.
just
It could be
threw it off.
Now
It
that
could
you mentioned that
be
you want
one
it,
of
Kylan,
Josh's-
I don't want it.
I know, no, that's
No.
the thing. No, he specifically was like, well, I'm going to be a contrarian. Yeah, very specifically, because you said that you wanted this song to be my number 3 is the reason that it's not. So my feelings are a little bit hurt.
No, I just.
You've done it
No,
again, TJ.
No, we're done. I
listen,
quit. Guys, I quit.
I'll shut up.
I quit.
I'm
done.
just adding to the noise, so I'll just be
No,
quiet.
that makes it
You
worse.
already did.
Oh.
You already added to it. That's your number 2 song too? You put it twice?
Oh, whoops.
Makes me so mad. All right, fine. What's your number 2, TJ?
Gone is so
Noggin.
good.
Well, no, it's not. According to you,
Not
is,
good enough
though.
though.
Man,
not good enough.
I should have come up with a
Much
different
like our
formula.
friendship.
Maybe
It's
Gone.
not
Much
good
like
enough.
Kylan's recommendation.
This is honestly, this might be the thing that we revise in our end of year episode. Like, it won't be a revoking a bop and giving it to a flop. It'll be this. It'll be
Fixing your
changing
number
my bop
3
10.
of your. I want to go back to my number 3 slot of my Switchfoot Bop
Of
10.
my switch to bop 10. Honestly.
That'd be the best Christmas present you could give me.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. That's going in my
Because
pocket.
until then, we have a strictly professional
Oh, not
relationship.
again.
Yeah,
Not
we're just
again.
acquaintances. Mr. Smith,
Oh,
it's
no.
been a pleasure having you on the show. I'll talk to
Just
you
Wait, am I
later.
on the
coworkers
show
at
now,
this
too?
point.
No, I'm done. I quit. Me and Reggie
Oh,
are going to go hang out.
who's Reggie?
Join the Patreon, patreon.com/churchjamesnow podcast to find out.
Oh man, I gotta know. All right. Well, my number 2 is either. Y'all gotta help me out here.
No.
You got to give Kylan a bone on this one, I feel.
Okay, Josh.
no, I'm
Josh.
not. No, I'm pulling a TJ. I'm abstaining.
I love that.
I'm not helping with this one.
I'll
I
say
respect-
it first,
I
and then
respect
he
that
wants to
quite a bit.
be contrarian to me.
Okay, great. Is it either Dare You to Move or The Beautiful Letdown?
Which dare you to move?
The Beautiful Letdown version.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said dare you to
Because-
move or meant to live, right?
Or
Or
Beautiful
beautiful
Letdown.
letdown.
Oh, you
which
said
was on
Our
your
Beautiful Letdown.
list.
Okay.
This seems like a
Yep.
conflict of interest.
This does seem like a conflict
a little
of
bit.
interest.
That's true.
So I'm the only truly objective
You're the only one that
person
can actually
here
weigh
that you
in,
could.
I
yeah.
guess.
Too bad I'm not.
It's true.
He's not
No.
going to say anything.
Nope.
Oh, this
They're
would
both-
really give some good points to The Beautiful Letdown for me. But
Mm.
I feel like Dare You
Yeah.
to Move maybe needs some. I don't know where we should land on. Like, do we want to represent more of their catalog, or do we want to? So
Double down. Yeah.
Dare You to Move. We'll give Dare You to Move. That's
Yeah.
my vote.
It definitely is the one that I listed first. Beautiful Letdown was one I added later that I was like, they both sort of fit in the same sonic space a little bit, and like, I don't know, like they're both kind of anthemic and expansive. One is a little more low key than the other, but they're still like big, like
Mhm.
chewy, heavy, like, I don't know. I'm talking about them as if they're like a wine. The mouthfeel in Dare You to Move.
You have a good ear feel.
Yes,
Yep,
a good
that's
ear
it.
feel.
Bringing it back. He
Um,
remembers that. He remembers his bits on the podcast.
as he should, because they're zingers, man. Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to say anything, Kylan?
Now's your chance.
Now's the chance. I'm here for it, man. I want to know how you feel.
Oh, he just got
He
up
just
and
got
left.
up and walked away.
Kylan, your coworker is asking for your
Feedback.
input and feedback on a specific matter regarding.
I get that I'm a beautiful letdown to you,
Right.
buddy, but
Yeah. Yeah. We
Can
can
I
circle
dare you
back
to
this.
move?
We can circle back to this later.
okay, great.
Yeah,
Warmest
I'll-
regards.
I'll send
per
a
my last email.
company-wide memo.
Uh-huh. Just wanted to follow up.
Yeah, and I got nothing to say to you.
He's got nothing.
To you.
Got nothing to say to you. Nothing.
Hey, that's on my list too.
New. Oh wait,
wait.
different band.
Yeah, you're right.
We're gonna go with Dare You to Move here, y'all.
Of
It's
course,
gonna
you're
get the
gonna
number
take
2 slot.
Josh's suggestion. You shut me down twice, and you're gonna take Josh's suggestion. Of course you are. Of course you are.
Of course I am.
And I honestly
quit.
wasn't trying to do the reverse psychology to get The Beautiful Letdown some more points,
Yeah.
which I maybe should have done.
You maybe should have.
But yeah, now I
No,
regret it.
but
Wait,
we all
let's go
knew.
back. Let's
we
circle
all
back to
knew
that.
that TJ was gonna take whatever your recommendation was
Oh,
because he
gosh.
actually listens to you. I'm gonna start calling myself Beautiful Producer Kylan, and maybe people will listen to me.
There you go.
We'll see.
give
You know,
you
try
extra
it
cred.
out for a couple episodes. We'll see what happens. You know,
Yeah.
we'll get some
BPK.
great response.
Beautiful producer Kylan.
Whatever. I'm over it. I'm mad at you, TJ. We gotta stop doing the Bop 10s because I get so mad at TJ.
You get real
and for
salty.
different
You do.
for different reasons.
Specifically
I know.
with
I
me.
can't believe it happened twice.
All right, Josh. What's your number 2?
What do
My
you got,
number
man?
2 is Shadow Proves the Sunshine.
Ooh, nice, dude.
Yes. And I would have
cool.
put this probably for the last couple of years. If you would have asked me what my favorite Switchfoot song is, I would have said this one. So it's recently
Wow.
been dethroned.
Oh wow.
But
But it
I
still
just-
makes the number 2 slot.
of course, I can't not make it my
Yeah.
number 2. So
What do you love about it so much?
I love everything about it. You can listen
Just
back to our
everything.
episode about it last year with
Mhm.
Carson,
McCain.
where we talked about it in depth. But this one, just super simple concept that I feel like we were talking about, John's authenticity allows him to get away with like stuff and like simple, bigger, like maybe like more broad concepts, I guess. But
yeah,
you're like,
what in somebody else's hands could be
Yeah.
felt as cliche.
yeah, but you're like, I
He
feel
pulls
like
it
he
off.
means it so much. Like
Yeah.
I'll let him. I totally feel it. So
Yeah.
this is one that just feels totally authentic when he sings it and obviously wrote it. I love the slow build of this one, how it's like set up, and especially like how I love the way the bass like slides in on the second verse and the piano comes in. I played it with one of my friends, Cameron, for their church one time for kind of like a special or something like that. So it was fun. It's got some fun memories attached to it. So
Nice.
I love this record a lot, and this Shadow Proves the Sunshine
Yeah.
a lot.
good song.
So my number 2.
Love it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. All right. Kai Dog, what's that number 2?
See, you guys are learning. You guys are learning about how to keep the show moving forward without me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to set you up for success.
That's what you've been trying to do this whole time. Yeah,
whenever
your
stumble through
inevitable
somehow.
departure.
Yep.
Stars. My number 2.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
When I look
Very
at the
cool.
star. Has that been on? That hasn't been on a list yet, right?
It's the one that I didn't pick.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
give you more reason to be upset with
It
me.
got jettisoned.
I feel
It
like
fell
needs,
from the sky, if you will.
I
needs-
chose The Shadow Proves the Sunshine. Josh is number 2. In
And you
place
didn't. You
of
didn't
your
choose
number
that. Yeah.
2.
Yeah. Cool.
Whoops.
Cool.
Which is crazy at this point. So
Cool.
we're at all of our so we've done all of our 2s and stuff like that. We've only had 3 songs that have shown up on the same list.
Wow.
Hmm.
We don't have a lot of overlap on
Overlap.
this one, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting.
that
It's
is-
anyone's game here, you know.
Yeah.
This number 1 slot can really change
Easy.
things.
Yeah.
My number 1 slot is total Chaos Goblin pick.
Cool.
Yeah, it's from their Christmas album. No.
Perfect.
Kylan, what do you like about Stars?
It's good. It's a good rock song.
It
It
is.
really is.
It just rocks, dude. When I look at the stars.
Yep.
That's it's good. Good music.
Good music. Kind of
I
lost
don't
Well
know.
said.
I don't know. Reggie's throwing me off, guys.
Okay. We still don't know who Reggie is, but we just know
No.
there's an impact in the studio.
For sure.
In the creepy murder basement.
/Church Names Now podcast if you want details on Reggie.
Um,
All right. It comes down
That's
to
not
this.
incentive.
comes down.
I don't know what
to
is.
this.
TJ, what is your
Yes.
number 1
Okay. My number
favorite
one
Switchfoot song?
favorite Switchfoot song reminds me that I am meant to live.
That's what I thought it would be.
Yeah, for all my contrarian energy on my top 9, 10 through 2, I'm a basic
It's a good
when
song.
it comes to my number 1. It
It's a
is
good
so
song.
good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's anthemic, it's nostalgic, it's shreddy and huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, the message again is one of those that like could be cliche in somebody else's hands, but John just
Right.
pulls it off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for me, because like Stars and Meant to Live, they're my 2 and 4. I could
Mhm.
swap those on any given
Yes.
day.
And I think that's the other reason. I know you might just send another salty response back to this, Callan, but I'm going to be genuine here and say Stars, one of the reasons I went with Shadow Proves the Sunshine is because, like I said, I needed like a more mellow, kind of somber song because Stars and Meant to Live are, like you're saying, they have so much, they share the same energy. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to diversify my list a little bit. But I couldn't tell y'all that Meant to Live was my number 1 to
Of course.
justify the choice.
Of course.
Right.
So, but I totally get it. Stars is a great alternative. Like it could have just as easily been in my top 3,
Yeah.
I think, if Meant to
Well-
Live wasn't my number 1 slot.
That is a fair decision, Mr. Smith.
Thank you. I
Nice.
appreciate your professionalism, Kylan.
I'm just glad we're all here being friends, guys. You know, no, I'm glad Mental Live got some big points on that one. You know, It takes
Yeah.
it right now to a number 1 slot. We'll see
Well, of course,
if it
right
is able
now.
to hold on to that victory.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Josh,
see. Yeah.
what's your number 1?
My
Baby.
number 1. So, I did it on the episode, and I'm doing it again. I'm going Golden because
Oh,
man. the way this song, like I had totally forgotten about this song before we
Uh-huh.
did that episode, and then like hearing it was like, wow, like why have I forgotten about this song for so many years?
Sent you back.
It sent me back, and man, just the way like okay, so whenever I hear this song, like I just picture like I'm driving, which I don't know if I ever had this experience, but like listening to this song specifically, but like the way that this
Josh driving story,
I'm
though.
driving
here for
on
it.
southbound on 35 west, north of the split of Hillsborough, going to Austin in the evening. The sun's going down, and it like John Foreman says, like freedom and spring, and this song feels like freedom and spring. Like
Ooh,
it just feels
that's
I feel like
cool.
one of the warmest, smoothest, like maybe syrupy songs like
Yeah.
that
Ooh, I like
there is.
syrupy.
I like yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It feels like that. Like that's how it is. Like
Yeah.
it feels
Uh-huh.
like a warm hug of a song.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and
Like a deep sunset.
yeah, it's just
That's
it truly is golden, and I the lyrics, the vocals, all the guitars, everything about it is just so good. So sorry, Shadow proves the sunshine, but I gotta go golden for my number one. Stay golden,
Nice.
golden,
Stay golden,
boy.
golden boy.
Yep.
That famous line.
That famous line
golden,
that
golden
was
boy.
a riff on the Switchfoot song. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We all
Sweet.
know.
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Yep. So that's mine. Kylan.
A special deep cut from
A
Josh.
special deep cut, yes. All my top three, I waited until the top three to even get into Nothingness Sound. I was seeing if anyone noticed, but
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, all top three are Nothingness
That's
Sound for
true.
me.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
cool.
big record.
Big
He
record.
saved it.
I did.
Okay, my number one. Speaking of deep cuts, if you go back and listen to our Nothingness Sound episode,
Mm-hmm.
I made quite a case for the song Daisy.
Yes, you did.
certainly did.
I
And
remember
Daisy is my number one Switchfoot song.
Wow.
Dude,
that
that's
makes
great.
things interesting.
that. That's
I
so
know.
cool. I
Once
like
again,
that a lot.
I like tired, sad, cynical John Foreman.
Right.
I like when the positivity just like cracks. It feels so human to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked a
Well,
lot.
because
we talked at
he
length
does
about
it
that
so
song.
artfully,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not. It doesn't feel heavy-handed like a lot of artists
Right.
when they lean into their melancholy. Like he really knows how to do it well,
Yeah.
which is, oh man, now now I just feel like I did my list all wrong.
You did because you didn't listen to me.
I know.
But the beauty of these Bop 10s is it's now a jumping off point for you to go back and revisit their catalog with maybe a new perspective in mind. You know?
That's
And that's
true.
all we're trying to do.
But no, Daisy as a number one pick is very cool,
Isn't that
and
wild?
it
It's
just
like-
feels
it's-
right.
Well, the thing is too, I'm so much more familiar with John Foreman solo
Right,
than
yeah.
I am with, because at this point, like the Switchfoot discography is so big,
Mm-hmm.
and my knowledge caps at Nothing Is Sound,
Right.
but his solo stuff, like his seasons EPs and stuff, are all
Right.
really big for me. And this Daisy kind of has that vibe, and it just feels really like intimate and personal,
Mm-hmm.
especially coming from like a big rock band, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And saving it for their last song. I will say, if you haven't listened to our Nothing to Sound episode, Kylan does make a very good case for this song. I
I
think
know, you
changed
guys
my
wanted
opinion
to-
on
you
it.
guys
Yeah,
wanted
I
to-
know.
cut it. Everyone wanted
Yeah.
to cut it.
And you're like, wait, guys, wait.
Wait,
Wait.
I was saving it.
Just
It was one
hear
of
me
it was
out.
one of the few times I was actually, I feel, genuinely articulate on the show.
No, you came through when you
Whatever.
needed to.
Yeah.
That was a great moment, though.
Yeah. I
You're
saved it.
articulate all the time, bud.
Well,
But
that's
that was a great
objectively
moment.
not true. But I appreciate the compliment. It's nice when you get compliments from work acquaintances.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just like when you get like a nice little, like a thank you note on a post-it, you know?
Exactly.
Trying to
So
keep
what
it
that is.
professional, buddy.
To me, this is the equivalent of you not eating my lunch in the work fridge. So
Well, you're welcome.
The
You're
bare
welcome for
minimum.
that. Yeah, I'm just not a big tuna guy. So
bare minimum. Me either, man.
yeah.
don't-
I think it's interesting that none of us picked anything from Native Tongue or Interrobang.
I'll be honest, I've not listened to anything past Where the Light Shines Through.
Yeah. I wondered because that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. I didn't want to give it away too much, but when I was like, is Josh the most familiar with their discography? I
Right.
was kind of like wondering, does that mean
Something
That
comes
you-
through from there.
you have a great familiarity with their
Yeah.
recent work as well?
Nope, not the newer
Also,
stuff.
guys, what's very curious to me is Dare You to Move did not make our list at all, right?
No. TJ
It
picked
didn't?
it.
Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. I thought he listened to me. I
Ooh,
forgot.
Nope. Sorry,
Alright,
bud.
Never mind. Fuck me.
It made my list. But yeah, I guess you're right. It didn't make either of y'all's, right?
No.
So,
Yeah. I have some
That is interesting.
stats
all
if we
right.
want to talk about this. So this may be this is our most expansive. Our Emery, we had 23 different songs, 23 unique songs that we mentioned.
Mm.
This one, we have 26 songs off their whole catalog, which they have a big catalog, so it makes
Right.
sense. We only
Mhm.
have 4 songs that showed up on more than one list, and we don't have
That's
any.
the big one, I think.
We don't have any triples. No
That
triple
speaks-
picks.
Right.
Oh,
that just
wow,
speaks to their
yeah.
versatility as a band and how we
Right.
go to
How
them
we-
for very different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yep.
That's an accomplishment. I think.
Yeah,
A
I think
band
I'm
that
glad.
do
I'm
that.
glad.
too, yeah.
I'm glad we pivoted to Switchfoot this early on in our
Pun.
top 10.
Yeah.
Pivot table pun there. So I
Me
have
too.
the official list if you want
Yeah.
to go through them for
Let's
what.
Let's
do
hear it.
All right.
Let's do
So fittingly, our winner at only 17 points with 2 picks is Meant to Live. On top, I
okay.
feel like as it should be.
Yeah. Makes sense. Feels fitting.
Number 2, 1 point below with also 2 picks is Shadow Proves the Sunshine, which
Nice.
I'm very
Okay.
happy to have up there.
Yeah.
2 picks at 13 points is in third place is Adding to the Noise.
Sweet.
Our last song with 2 showing up on 2 lists at 11 points is Happy as a Yuppie Word at number 4.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Then we got back-to-back 10-pointers from Kylan and I's. Deep cuts on Nothing to Sound. We have Golden and Daisy.
Nice.
Go either way, the same
That's
amount
great.
of points.
I like that.
Yeah, for 5 and 6. Number 7 is Stars.
Cool.
Okay. Good flex. Split.
Also, 7 and
Yes.
8 are tied as well between Stars and Dare You to Move. So those are
Okay.
same amount of points.
Nice.
Number 9 is Gone.
Cool.
Would have been up higher
like
if TJ picked it.
Yeah.
but
It would have been number
Sorry.
1.
But it made the list.
It maybe
that
could
makes
have
me
been.
happy.
Would it?
Yeah.
Would it have? Wait,
What
no,
did
it
you?
wouldn't have been
Which
number
one
1.
was it, TJ? What
'Cause
point?
It was his
it?
number 3.
It would have been
It would have
3.
been his 3, and it was my 3.
Oh, it would have been number 2 then.
So,
Ooh,
I would've
wow.
snuck up there to number 2.
Crazy.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the last one, I feel like I don't know how I'm always doing this, but the last one is my pick. Enough to let me go.
there you
Nice.
go.
Number
You get
10.
you got to have some Josh picks. It wouldn't be a real Bop 10 if Josh didn't give himself
Sneak my way in
come
here.
in there
his
with
own
some.
stuff.
I just
It's
I
okay.
just
Some
know when
moves.
to not like for my higher points to not pick ones that other people are picking, so I can get mine in there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
It's a
that
good
makes
strategy.
it works.
This is an
works.
interesting list. I like it. It's got
It
some
is.
of the heavy hitters, but I feel like we've got some Switchfoot fan cred here with this
Yeah,
list, right?
there's some
like,
character in it.
I'm not embarrassed by this list.
No.
Yeah, I mean we've got 4 beautiful letdown songs, but we have 5 nothing to sound songs. So
Nice.
I think that
Crazy.
shows where we kind of lean.
Yep.
Yeah. Collectively.
Yeah.
Kylan, your theory was ultimately correct, but just for us collectively.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If you boil it all down, you were right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so of course, once again, listeners, we want to know your list. And like Josh said up top, if you rank your list, we'll give them points. I don't know how it all works. I don't understand it.
The same points that we get, you can get as well.
Whoa. Wow.
So let us know
We're so generous with those
in
points.
in the comments. We're so stoked, and I think that's going to be it from all of us. Of course, if you want more nonsense like this, or you want to hear about Reggie, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/churchhamsnowpodcast.
Please do it and then tell me who Reggie is.
Yeah, because TJ doesn't have access to the Patreon.
I'm not allowed in.
For only $2 a month, TJ, you too could learn the origin story of Reggie.
Oh, okay.
And where is he now?
Yeah.
No,
Oh my
seriously,
God!
where
I
is he,
don't
Kylan?
know.
Oh no.
I forgot. I'm genuinely a little bit terrified. Okay, from all of us here at Church Gyms Now, may all your favorite bands stay together and peace out, Monfers.